Question number 13 is quite unusual by the C12 question standard, and it might look a bit difficult, and actually it is if you are used to the past C12 papers and past C1 or C2 papers. This is quite unusual. The logic is like this. We have to find the maximum value of the height. In a harbor, the height is in meters, and we have T hours after midnight. So if midnight is 12 a.m., then after that is the time in hours. So we have some sort of a expression in terms of h, and that expression has cos of some angle. Let me call this angle as theta, 30t minus 40 degree, and we have to calculate the maximum value. The first thing you have to remember is this one. No matter what happens, no matter what the theta is, the maximum value for cos theta will only be plus 1. And no matter what theta is, the minimum value would be minus 1. So if you remember, this is what the sketch looks like. So the sketch is like this. So the maximum value is plus 1 and the minimum value is minus 1. So whatever happens, regardless of what the theta is, we cannot have a value higher than plus 1 as the maximum value. So for this particular sum, what we have to do, we have to remember for maximum value, cos theta equals to 1. So h equals to 3.7 plus 2.5 into cos whatever theta is, it's 1. So that turns out to be 3.7 plus 2.5, I think it is 6.2. So it is 6.2 meter. Now we also have to find the exact time of day. So we have to find the value of t. So, and we can write, so cos theta equals to 1. So for t, we only have to use the cos theta portion. We don't have to use the h. So we can write cos, so theta is 30t minus 40 degree equals to 1. So when does this happen? Think about it. When do we have maximum value of theta? So if you remember, cos theta equals to 1. So that would only happen at 0 degree and 360 degree. So that means cos 0 degree is 1, and also cos 360 degree, that is also 1. So we need the smallest value. So what we will write over here is, therefore 30t minus 40, which is theta, equals to 0. So we have cos theta 1 when the angle is 0. This is the compound angle. Remember the concept of compound angle. We don't have to do anything else here. So we can find the value of t. So 30t equals to 40. Therefore t equals to 40 by 30 is 4 by 3. The sum is not done yet. What we found is t equals to 4 by 3 hour. They asked us for the time of the day. Since it is midnight, so we have to find out how much time after midnight. So let me convert this to minute. So 4 by 3 into 60 minute, this turns out to be 3 into 2, 3 into 20, this turns out to be 80 minute. 4 into 20 is 80 minutes. So 80 minute, the time should be, so the time is, so after midnight, 80 minute means 60 minutes plus 20 minutes. So it should be 1:20 a.m. Now, once the sum is done, it's a good idea to restate the answer. So the answer is, so the maximum height is 6.2 meter, and this occurs at 1:20 a.m. Now, the next part is, fishing boats cannot enter the harbor if h is less than 3. They cannot. So find the times during the morning between which fishing boats cannot enter the harbor. So what we have to do basically is, we have to find h is less than 3 and we have to solve this. Now thinking of inequality in trigonometry might be a little bit troublesome. So the best idea is to think of it as an equation. So let's write it as for h equals to 3. In that case, if h is 3.7 plus 2.5, cos theta is 30t minus 40 equals to 3. This is manageable. So let's try to solve this one. So what we have over here is 2.5 cos 30t minus 40 equals to 3 minus 3.7 would be minus 0.7. And then let's send this 2.5 to the other side. It turns out to be cos 30t minus 40 equals to minus 0.7 divided by 2.5, and therefore we can write cos 30t minus 40 equals to, so we have 0.7 divided by 2.5, and it is 0.28, so minus 0.28. So we have to solve this thing. Now remember the steps of solving a trigonometric equation. So for solving a trigonometric equation, you have to remember the steps. The first step is you have to select the quadrant. So that is CAST. Select any two: cos positive, all positive, sine positive, tan positive. So that's the first step. So let's do this. So for solving this, the first step is to select the quadrant. So since cos theta, let's consider this theta is negative. So we have in this quadrant, here is cos negative, and this quadrant, because here's only sine is positive, and in the third quadrant only tan is positive. So we have this, we have selected this. The next step would be to find the basic angle. So the basic angle would be in any of the quadrants, and we consider the basic angle with the horizontal line. So these are the basic angles, and the basic angle is always the absolute value. For example, if you have cos theta equals to A, the basic angle would be theta equals to cos inverse of A. But if it was cos theta equals to minus A, then the basic angle would be cos inverse of A again. So we have already solved a trigonometric equation in this paper. So it's just that. So let's find the basic angle. So the basic angle would be, so 30t minus 40 equals to cos inverse of 0.28. Remember, the basic angle will take the absolute value. So that means cos inverse of 0.28, and it is 73.74. 73.74, that is the basic angle. So we can put it over here. So this is 73.74 and this is 73.74. So we have the basic angles. Now the next step would be to find the angle. So we have to find the actual angle over here. So in our case, it's in this quadrant. So the basic angle is this quadrant, and it's also in the third quadrant. So here theta would be equals to 180 degree minus basic angle, and in this quadrant it would be 180 degree plus basic angle. So this is what it is. It is this angle and it is this angle. This is what it is. So what we can do right now is we can write for, now remember one thing, this is a compound angle sum. 30t minus 40, this is a compound angle. We do not break the compound angle at all until the end of the sum. So this is going to be 30t minus 40 equals to 180 degree minus basic angle, which is 73.74, and that is 180 minus 73.74, 106.26. And we have 30t minus 40 now for the third quadrant, which is this one. This would be 180 degree plus 73.74, and this would be 180 degree plus 73.74, 253.74, 253.74. Let me check. Yeah, it's fine. So what we have to do is now we have to find the value of t. So in order to find the value of t, so let me write it over here. So the first one is going to be 30t minus 40 equals to 106.26. So t is going to be 106. Let me use the calculator. So 106.26 plus 40, then divided by 30. So the value of t is 4.875. 4.875. And the other value of t would be 253.74 plus 40 divided by 30, and that is 9.79. T equals to 9.79. We found two values of t. Now one thing to remember is the step 4 is about selecting the range of values. So selecting the range of values that is given. The first thing we do is we usually take the revolution, the first revolution, 0 to 360 degree. But based on what range we have, we might have to take another revolution, meaning from 360 to 720 degree. And for that, we have to check what the original question said. Now remember, in the original question, time was given from 0 to 24. So the value of time was from 0 to 24. And we found two values of time. And these values are 4 and 9. So we might need another revolution to see whether we get more values of time in the range. So this is something that you have to remember while doing these sums. So what we can do is we can write for, so 30t minus 40, it was 106.26. So if we take another revolution, that means 0 to 360 degree plus this value, so we have to add 360 to it, and that turns out to be 106.26 plus 360, which is 466.26. So this is 466.26. Now from here, let's find the value of t directly. So what we can do is we can send the 40 to the other side. So this would be plus 40. Then we divide by 30. So this would be 16.88. So this would be 16.88. Remember, this is still in the range. The range of t is from 0 to 24. So, and the next thing we can do is we can take the second value and add 360 to it. So that would be 253.74 plus 360. So that would turn out to be, starting from here, we have 360 degree and then we have this value, which is 253.74. So this turns out to be 253.74 plus 360 degree, 613.74. 613.74. Therefore, t equals to, so we have to add 40 to this and then we have to divide by 30, and it becomes 21.79. Still in the range, 21.79. So we got four values of t. The four values of t are all in hour. We have to write them, give these times to the nearest minute. They have to be time as in clock time. So if you want to convert this time to the clock time, it has to be, let me write this down over here. So the first time is 4.9. So 4.9 to one decimal places. So 4.9 hour. So 4.9 hour would be if we start at midnight. So 12 hour plus 4 more hour, that is at midnight. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at 4 a.m. And 0.9 hour means, let's convert it to minute. 0.9 into 60, that is 54 minute. That means it is 4 past 54 a.m. That is the first time. Then the next time is 9.8 hour. If you take one decimal places, this is 9.8 hour. 9 hour after midnight is going to be 9 in the morning, and zero point 0.8 if you convert into minute, so 0.8 into 60. Let me do this again. 0.8 into 60 is 48. So this would be 9:48 in the morning. So this is the second time. Now the third time is going to be 16.9. So 16 hours after midnight is going to be 4 in the afternoon. So if you, it is easier actually if you think in the hour clock. For example, 1300 is 1 p.m. 1400 is 2 p.m. 1300, 1400, 1500 and 1600 is 4 p.m. So it is going to be 4 in the afternoon, and 0.9 again is going to be, so 0.9 times 60 is 54. So this would be 54 p.m. and the final time is 21. If you add 21 hour after 12, it is 21 hour. That means actually it is 9 at night. So it is going to be 9, and 0.8 is going to be 48. So this is going to be PM. So the conclusion. So let's read the question one more time. Find the times during the morning between which fishing boats cannot enter the harbor. Give these times to the nearest minute. So we didn't have to do these. We didn't have to do these in the answer. We just need the time in the morning. So the time in the morning is going to be between 4:54 a.m. and 9:48 a.m. Remember, these times can also be written in our format. For example, 0454 or 0948. That is another format of writing down the time.